Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial's set correctly to USAPrepares.com. And we're delighted you're here. We're broadcasting 2 hours daily from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains, and there's a link to your instructors on the website, USAPrepares.com, and you can click on the instructors tab. Converging threats are confronted daily by our instructors. I'm Vincent Finelli. Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota, and I'm delighted to introduce your newest instructor. You know, there are over 200 of us here at USAPrepares.com, and we're experts in various areas. We're innovators, we're dentists, medical doctors, engineers, surgeons, CEOs, broadcasters, researchers, authors, physicists, farmers, and inventors. And we're students rising to become instructors. Your newest instructor is Greg Morse. His website, saveourfamilyandhome.com. And just as a thumbnail, he flew F-4s in the Air Force and in the Navy. Welcome, Greg Morse.
Good morning,
Vincent. Good morning, Greg. Hey, I was thinking this morning, you know, most of us have seen these stories on television where there's a nice young student in school, and he's picked on by a bully who's much larger and meaner, and the bully has his followers who are standing right behind the bully, you know, enjoying the picking on of the smaller, nice, you know, young man and student. And so we see things like the student's lunch is smashed, his homework is ripped up, and, you know, he's pushed around, slammed into lockers, his books are thrown around, and we feel bad for the nice guy. And we despise the behavior of the bully. As a matter of fact, we don't even like the bully. And so we watch this on TV, and we love it when the nice guy wins. We love it when the guy who's being picked on wins. And we, in our seats watching television, are armchair fighters. You know, cheering on the good guy, despising the bad guy. But how many of us actually stand up and come to the assistance of the good guys? What do you think?
Well, I wish I could give you a better answer from my perspective, but the answer is not very many. We're in a desperate state of affairs where most people do not know how to fight, and they appear in this country to be relatively, if not majoritively, apathetic and are not willing to get into the fight.
I was watching a video, I posted it on the website, about a homeless man in St. Louis, Missouri. And there are 6 cops. This homeless man is down on the ground when the video starts. They tase him, they push him around, and they shoot him 3 times. Now, if you think about a homeless man, you don't think of Rambo. That doesn't come to mind. You know, a homeless man is someone who probably hasn't showered or bathed in you know, recent memory. And he's probably not eaten any good food, eating out of trash cans and, you know, whatever people throw away or whatever people give him. So he's not eating as well as we would like to eat. So his strength is down. His outlook is down. He's on the ground to begin with. sleeping on the ground, and he gets beat up by the cops, in order to help him, in order to protect him. And they shoot him 3 times. And the people around are screaming, they shot him, they shot him, they shot him. Now, what I didn't understand is why all these people, this crowd of people, didn't descend and jump on these police. They saw the whole thing in real time. They saw the cops execute a man, take his life. But they videoed it. They let us know about it, which was wonderful. But yet they stopped short of just pummeling the police. And I guess that's because the police all had guns and tasers and radios. And they're already overpowered. But what I'm saying is, our team, the good guys, are being beaten, and we just stop short of responding. What do we do?
Well, the way I put it is that there are 2 words that I think are operative for this type of discussion. One is activist, and the second one is a word that I kind of fabricated. I call it actionless. Most people are activists. Activist is defined as an armchair warrior or quarterback. An actionless is a person who gets up out of the chair and gets involved in the fight. Unfortunately, in the 6 years that we've been combating in federal court in our civil RICO pro se lawsuit, is that we find that most people are activists and are not actionalists for all those reasons, and then some additional that you have mentioned.
I think about what happened in Sparta, Missouri, where we had one of USA Preparedness instructors and students was in his car, and he was tased by a Sparta cop. Andrew Spencer is the cop's name. So Andrew Spencer tased a 68-year-old man, and the city of Sparta says, we stand behind him. He did the right thing. That's what we do. We tase people. And I said publicly, I'm not going to Sparta. I'm not going to Sparta. And what I really mean is, if I have to support the man who was tased, I'll go to Sparta. But other than that, I'm not buying gas. I'm not buying a hot dog. Nothing. I don't want to spend 1 dime in Sparta, Missouri, because the community has not stormed City Hall and demanded that this cop be fired. Instead, what they did was the relatives of this cop got up before an alderman's meeting. I was present, and I saw what happened. The city and the family members, the relatives of this cop, say what a great guy he is, and we support our police, and we think we've got a wonderful city government. And yet they're abusing people. They set up a toll booth where they give tickets, 170 tickets in a population of 1,753. The city has a population of 1,753, and they give 170 tickets a month. This place is some place to be avoided. There's no question about it. The government of Sparta should be disbanded. And what I saw was a peaceful appearance by USA Preparedness. We had about 25 people there, and we were very polite. But where's the rest of the community? We came from everywhere besides Sparta to be there. We came from as far as 6-hour round trip to be there to support the man who was tased against the city government. But the city government has circled the wagons. Not only that, what I want to know is, where's the investigation by the sheriff? A constitutional sheriff, at least he says he is. Yeah. There's a guy who's the sheriff of that county, and this cop is still walking around. He's a domestic terrorist. So why has the sheriff not publicly gotten involved? Why has he not said, hey, listen, this won't stand in the county where I represent the people, men and women? Why is that? So we need to actually take a stand. We need to say no. We need to stop this nonsense. But we're not doing a very good job. Greg, I don't believe there are more than 1% of us that are actually paying attention. However, I have met people who've said, boy, this country's in a mess, but they don't know what to do about it. What do we do about it?
I wish I had an answer. That's a great question, and to be just as honest as I know how to be, Vince, I don't really have an answer. 3 years ago, I would have answered your question differently. 3 years hence, on today's date, as we speak, I've got a totally different opinion because we've interacted with thousands of homeowners in our particular fight that had been devastated. They've been raped financially and physically, in terms of their family's relationship, their children, bankruptcies, loss of jobs. In many cases, many of the people I've talked to are now not with us. They committed suicide. I've lost a lot of confidence in the guts and the tenacity of the American people. And that comes from firsthand experience. People are getting beat up, stolen, kicked around, and I look them in the eye and say, we have a solution. We're trying to put together a very powerful, broad, apolitical grassroots movement. It costs you no money. It costs you no time. Why won't you get involved? The typical answer is, well, I can't do anything about it by myself, and I'm afraid that if I sign the petition to help you all get a joint congressional House and Senate subcommittee hearing, which would be much more powerful than Iran-Contra ever thought about being, we're afraid we'll be put on a list, or they'll make our lives miserable, or the IRS will come after us. It's rank, outright, bodacious fear that I think precludes most people from becoming actionalists. That's the best answer I can give you.
Yeah, I'm listening to the words that you're saying, and they ring very clear to me. I've been to the meetups for going on 5 years now. We have a meetup, USA Prepares has a meetup with our students and our instructors once a week. It used to be on Fridays at a restaurant, and we moved to another restaurant, and a really nice restaurant, Jimmy's Egg in Springfield, Missouri. We talk about all kinds of things. We show movies. When I talk about movies, I'm talking about educational movies. We don't do anything that's not educational from the minute we start till the restaurant shuts down at night and we leave. We're learning. We're teaching each other, and there's seminars. And I've said to our meetup group, have we made a difference? Have we made a difference? There should be a line 2 miles long waiting to get into Jimmy's Egg every Monday. But there isn't. We still have room for more at Jimmy's Egg. I don't get it. People just can't get up off the couch. We'll be right back.
What's so special about the Get Prepared Expo? Imagine having the opportunity to learn from some of the best preparedness and survival instructors available today. The faculty of USAPrepares.com. Imagine meeting your radio instructors all in one place. The last weekend in March. Imagine having lunch or dinner at a table with your instructors. And the cost? $10.80. Imagine having your favorite instructors autographing and personalizing your new books. Imagine buying Berkey water filters at deep discounts, the lowest price in the country. Imagine buying freeze-dried, long-term storage food at the lowest price in the country. You don't have to imagine. This is real. It's at the Get Prepared Expo, the biggest and best preparedness expo there is, March 27, 28, and 29 in Lebanon, Missouri. One-day tickets are $8 on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Getpreparedexpo.com.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
Most people know that drinking pure high alkaline pH water is the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals. Using plasma pH drops is the best way to make your water alkaline to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops in the water you drink to raise the pH to a healthy level. Alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria, viruses, and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to alkavision.com. That's ALKA Vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776 today.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey guy.
Class, Greg Morse is with us, and his website is saveourfamilyandhome.com. What we're talking about is apathy. And we're talking about, let's just play nice and get along with the other team while the other team steals from us. While the other team, the defectives on the other team, skim from everything we buy. Well, we actually have to do something. We have to take a stand, or they're going to run us over even more. And, I think about Al Gore and trading carbon credits and carbon taxes, and who thinks these things up? Anything that they can do to steal from us is on the table on their side. Greg Morse, what do we do? You've got a plan.
I don't know what we handle on the macro scale. I can tell you on a micro scale.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, micro scale.
Yeah, on a micro scale, people have got to wake up and realize that we have a societal problem, and it's apathy. It's fear. It's cowardice. It's an unwillingness, almost with no regard for the degree of motivation that an individual or a group gives you to get involved. You have to pick an issue in which you think you can align yourself, which when you join with many others and hopefully develop a plurality of membership, a coalition, if you will, that you can have an effect. Let me give you an example. There's not much that you, I, or any other group of people can do on issues like Benghazi, Fast and Furious, Keystone Pipeline. How many hours do you want me to go on? Those types of things, you have no legal standing or authority under our current legal system to affect or instigate or cause to change anything. You can have no effect. You can fuss and complain, but you can't do anything. We got involved in the mortgage crisis because, number one, I was the victim upon research, never late, never missed a payment. But I was one of the few guys that worked together in the mid-'80s that discovered collectively as a group the S&L crisis, which was a precursor to what is going on in the mortgage crisis. They're exact mirror images, and that was a trial balloon. we have the evidence to prove it. What we did was, once we found that I was involved because we discovered over 1,000 individual acts of statutory and code violation as well as acts of outright fraud by a very large number of people and entities. Once we got involved, we realized, after we had filed our civil pro se RICO lawsuit, the light came on, and we said, wait a minute, this is the single largest financial crime. It's the single largest RICO pre-engineered criminal cabal. It's the single largest documented Internal Revenue Service federal income tax evasion event. And simultaneously and lastly, it's the largest documented Securities and Exchange Commission fraud in recorded history of this country. That's why I'm a legally filed and registered IRS and SEC whistleblower, because we're going at them as well. Now, here's what we concluded. The beauty about what we're doing, if we could wake people up, is that if you are a property owner, don't have to own a home, you can be just a raw landowner. If you're a property owner, at minimum, you have the legal standing under our existing legal and court system. You have the legal authority to join with us and cause change to happen, and there's nothing they can do about it. Now, the way to affect that to what we are doing, and that is to petition and demand that the Congress allows us to have a joint House and Senate congressional testimony and hearing session on the floor of the Congress in Washington in front of the American public and the media to
hold that thought, Greg. We're going into a commercial break. Hold that thought, and we'll come right back.
Some of you might be wondering, just what is the Get Prepared Expo? The Get Prepared Expo is designed to help everyone survive tornadoes, snowstorms, ice storms, earthquakes, and God forbid, a real terrorist attack. Are you ready? Have you thought through all the scenarios? At the Get Prepared Expo, you'll meet exhibitors who will help you prepare and survive and learn what you need. Included in your all-day passes are 1-hour seminars on water filtration, cooking and heating without electricity, wood, or any kind of fuel, the all-important survival garden, and growing food with heirloom seeds, radiation detection and radiation survival. There are over 60 seminars at the Get Prepared Expo. Think of it as a college preparedness degree in a weekend. Get Prepared Expos are taught by preparedness leaders, authors, medical doctors, and radio personalities. Bring your questions. We have the answers. We hope to see you the last weekend in March. Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us.
So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take longevity beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
By now you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know BidBit.co. Why? Because BidBit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at BidBit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at BidBit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. BidBit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class, if you'd like to contact Greg Morse, you can go to usaprepares.com, click on the Instructors tab, and you'll find the link to Greg Morse and SaveOurFamilyAndHome.com. Right at the website, usaprepares.com. Greg, you were talking about a joint congressional hearing visible by men and women all over the country. Please continue.
Well, I was almost done. Sorry I interrupted your break there, but the end of it is that we have millions of people. There's over 70 million registered mortgages that are oversighted by MERS, which is a criminal organization that is at the heart of the problem. They're not the problem. They're the heart of the operational part of the problem. And if we got a small fraction of those 70 million people, we could stop this problem. But we have to go at the criminals and the people who are involved in this process, from Washington down through the stock market environment, through the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, Seed and Company. We have to go at all of them. And the only way to do that is to challenge the members of Congress on both sides of the House and the Senate. We have to challenge them, Vince, and turn the light on the cockroaches in a sealed room so when the light comes on, they have nowhere to run. And the only way to do that and to force them, because they're not going to do what you ask them just because they're good guys, because they're not. And they're not going to do what you ask them in a kind, polite, politically correct manner. They're not going to do that. If they would react to that kind of stimuli, they wouldn't be a part of this and wouldn't be covering it up. So we have to force them, at the risk of them either going to jail or not being reelected. This is a fight. And the end of my story is this. Have you ever, you're in Missouri, I'm in Texas, have you ever gone outside and, I don't know, been working with your cows or out in the field and you heard a loud airplane noise and you look up and you see, just as an example, you see a Russian Bear bomber flying over dropping bombs on your property? The answer is no. It's never happened in this country. But almost every country on the planet, except ours and a few others, but predominantly us, we've never been attacked on our soil. Therefore, people in this country don't understand that we're at the heart of the problem, because all of this mortgage crisis was generated by the stock market, the Congress of the United States, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, all the rest of them. They're all a part of this. It is a RICO cabal. No question. That's fact. We've got over 20,000 pages of evidence that we've been fighting like crazy dogs and cats to get into the court system the last 3 years. We've got enough of it to where we're now one step away from being able to plead to the Supreme Court as a suitor under Section 12, under Title 12, Section 411, and we don't think they can stop us. Here's the conclusion. People in this country have never had to fight directly for anything, not in the physical sense. They've never learned what it means to become an actionalist. I don't know how to bridge that gap. I really don't. If we knew how to bridge the gap, and we got 1 or 2 or 3% of not the population of the country, just the homeowners, just the property owners, we'd have millions of people. Do the math. And of the 70 million mortgages that are currently at play that are worth roughly $13 to $14 trillion, all of which are traded at least once a year and continue to be done so, we can represent very mathematically accurately that those 70 million mortgages represent over 240 million people in this country, directly or indirectly, moms, dads, daughters, sons. And that's calculated as 70 million individual mortgages times an average of about 4.3 people per house. Do the math. So I'm underestimating by saying 240, because 70 million times 4 is 280 million people. How do we wake those people up to say, look, signing the petition takes less than 3 minutes. It costs you no money. You incur no liability. You incur no legal bills, no court costs, nothing. What you're doing is you're casting a vote by signing the petition with your strongest asset, and that is your citizenship as a citizen of this country. Because when we amass millions of people on a petition, there is nothing that the Congress can do to keep it from being put in front of them and from getting on the media. They can't stop it. It's too much to look at the civil rights movement. It's no different. It's the same thing. But we can't get there if all we do is get on the radio or do public meetings of some sort and just talk. We have to get off our duff and do something.
Okay, I've got an answer for you. You know, there's an organization, a Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers organization, and they wanted some signatures on a document that they created that says that we support the Constitution of the United States, and we support those who are constitutional sheriffs and peace officers. Well, I brought some to a couple meetings, and we got 10% of all signatures that were signed came through USA Prepares. I'm looking at your website, and it looks like you have 701 signers, which is, I'm sorry to say, very few.
It's pitiful.
My offer to you is, why don't you come to the Get Prepared Expo? We'll put you in front of a seminar group, and we'll see if we can get multiply that number by 3.
Well, as I mentioned, I'm going to do everything I can to be there if my court schedule will allow it. That's the only thing.
What I'm saying is the opportunity is there, and Greg, what you're talking about is mortgage fraud, and you want to reverse that. I understand. There are a lot of us who are afraid, as you said. One day, the road grader, I live on a gravel road, the road grader came by and left a pile of gravel and rocks down the center of our road that prevented any passage of any vehicle because the road is 1.5 cars wide, and they left this pile, some places 2 feet tall, with rocks and boulders and debris in the road, and you would destroy the undercarriage of any vehicle, including a truck. And I saw this, and I was livid. And this guy with the road grader goes like 5 miles. He just drives down this road 5 miles and leaves his trail. I was so angry, I got my backhoe, and I was just going to clear the path in front of my road, in front of our farm. I was not going to let him mess up my farming activities by his leaving the road unusable. It's our road. It's not his road. Well, by the time I got the backhoe fired up and went out there, he came by and cleaned it up. So then I was driving down the road to bale hay with my baler. And I was on a tight time schedule, fighting the weather. And there he was with his road grader, and I went head-to-head with him. He had his road grader, and I had my 100-horsepower tractor with a baler. So I was probably weighed in at maybe, 16,000 pounds. He probably weighed in at 20,000 pounds. And we went face to face. I mean, just inches apart. And I let him know I'd had it with him. And that I was going to get him fired if he didn't stop this nonsense, stop turning every pointy rock face up or pointy side up. What I'm saying is I took action. And I let him know that if he didn't do a great job on this road and stop halting progress, that I would get him fired. And if that didn't work, I'd run for his boss's office and fire his boss as a county commissioner. Those are some of the kinds of actions that we can take. When you see a cop with his radar gun sniping, you can go up to him and say, "What are you doing?" You don't have to hide. Greg, there are people who have said to me, "Vinny, I can't stand close to you because they might miss and hit me."
I know.
What a bunch of pansies. Seriously. Do you think we're going to win this fight, this war, class, if we don't stand up?
There's not a snowball's chance.
Right. It's time to take him out of your pocket, or either grow a set or take him out of your pocket and be a man. Be a real man. It's time. Never re-elect anyone. Say no. Use cash. Stop being tracked. Disconnect that tracking antenna in your car. Get rid of your cell phone right after the expo. That's it for the cell phone. That's it. Apple's not going to track me anymore. Well, I'm angry. I'm really angry because of the apathy. And these are the people who are caught. There was a guy who came to my house with his friend, and he voted for Obama, and he was proud of it. That guy's not welcome on my property. And neither is anyone else who voted for Obama and still supports him. Come on. These guys are thieves. Have you seen the train of cars, bulletproof cars, that is in a presidential motorcade? It's not just one guy driving the president around. It's a motorcade. It's a small army. Why? Because they picked on every small country around. And they're mad at us.
You couldn't be more right. That's all I can say. You go around kicking people in the behind, sooner or later they're going to come after you in one way, shape, form, or fashion, and that's why they're afraid.
And they should be afraid. And that's what, cops don't like to let people know where they live. They really don't like it. Because when they put people in prison, they're afraid that those prisoners eventually are going to get out and remember what the cops have done. People are going to remember that they've been tased and beaten and shot, and their brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers have been shot for no reason at all. Greg, when we come back,
we have a special seminar for you on Friday, March 27th at the Get Prepared Expo. From 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Spend the day with USA Prepare's senior instructors, Matt Stein and Dr. Richard Allen Miller. There you'll learn about the 3 major game over events and their likelihood, and most importantly, what to do about them. Events so powerful that they can end life as we know it. Yes, they're real, and our senior instructors will guide you to safety. This seminar is limited to the first 100 who purchase tickets on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Your tuition for this special seminar is $85. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, or your money back. This is an in-depth, all-day seminar, and you're encouraged to take notes. Note-taking materials are provided. Food and beverages are available all day at the Get Prepared Expo, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special, infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, and in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
Class, Greg Morse is with us. SaveOurFamilyAndHome.com. Link on the website under the Instructors tab, USAPrepares.com. Greg, the money that or the digits that have been spent paying monthly mortgage payments, where did it go, and how did this crime affect us?
The majority of the money has gone into the pockets and the coffers of the DTCC and its wholly owned subsidiary Seed & Company. From that point, much of the money was transferred to the Union Bank of Switzerland, where it was then subsequently used to fund terrorist activities and black operations for arms for segments or agencies or entities within our government. A lot of the money that went to the DTCC was distributed back to the people who were guilty of perpetrating the cabal fraud.
And once the fraud has been exposed, do you expect members of Congress to go to prison?
Yes.
Okay. What percentage of the what percentage would you expect will go to prison?
It's hard for me to estimate that. I'll put it to you this way. We have, of the 700 plus people that have signed up the petition, which is pitifully, breathtakingly upsetting, many of them are helping us to assemble a lot of the public, corroborated, federal rule of evidence compliant pieces of dirt, if you will, on a lot of the representatives and senators in the Congress. You can either be the guy who pulls the trigger, or you can be the guy that's driving the car. You're still a co-conspirator after the fact. And what we found is that in the case of people like John Boehner, he has one or more stock trading accounts located at the Union Bank of Switzerland, where all this money went, a lot of it. Until we get their hard drives, there's no way to estimate the actual dollar amount of those monies, but we're aware of over 24,000 individual accounts at UBS that are involved, and that doesn't include HSBC and any one of a number of other banks. So I can see where if we had enough people and we disclose this dirt on all the members of Congress publicly, to the members of Congress, the people of this country, the media, and the population of the world, since this fraud has affected almost every country on the planet because they bought these worthless mortgage derivatives, which are truly worthless, you could see at least half of them or more go to prison if we get the heat turned up enough to do that. But again, it's all based, talking's one thing, doing something else. We've got to get the American public to say it's time for a change. We're tired of having our rights stolen from us, because none of these people with these mortgages are going to end up owning their homes. They're going to pay the bills, and at the end of the payment period, if they're lucky enough to make all the payments on their mortgage, they will never get a clear general warranty deed, unencumbered with an unbroken chain of title, and a copy of the original promissory note, properly signed, validated, and released. You're never going to get it because there's no chain of title. This is a devastating Agenda 21 and PNAC attack. It's a money and a land grab that is solely intended to make wealthy a lot of people at the expense of the population of the American public. So if that doesn't make people angry enough, then to do something, well, how do you feel about your money being stolen, being abused, and used to fund black ops and send our fighting men and women home in body bags? Is that not enough to upset you to where you want to see something happen? I wish I had an answer. I don't.
Greg Morse, thanks for being with us in class. If his schedule lines up, he'll be at the Get Prepared Expo. And I will do everything I can to get him in front of us so we can learn more about this fraud. And Greg, as you say this, unless you do this, there's nobody to call. Who are you going to call? You going to call the government and complain? You going to call 911? People get killed when you call 911. Thanks so much.
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
It's happening again. The feds are trying to ban your freedom to own body armor. In January, a newly introduced bill, H.R. 378, will take away your right to buy level 3 and higher body armor. Katie Armor offers the most affordable level 3 body armor packages on the market today. Protect yourself. Buy your body armor now before it's too late. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATI armor.com. Come and take it.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Here is what one doctor has to say about Extendovite.
I would like to thank you, Don, for making my job so much easier, because your products just make it so simple, right? To fool around with a lot of exotic things that don't work, we can just put them on your product and things start to work almost right away. I've had dozens of patients with heart problems who have corrected them, and what it's doing, there's so much garlic in there that has a yeast-killing effect. The yeast is a big problem in the gut, pushes the liver hard. It also has metal chelating effect, and most of the other herbs in there I find that strengthen the arteries. They help to neutralize free radicals. Your remedy close to what we do in our program as you can get as far as one supplement goes. It's working on the gut, it's working on the liver, it's working on the arteries. What more can you ask for?
To get your Extendovite, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite. Watch the green flags tumble.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Captain John Regan's with us. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Hey, John. I'm all excited. I really am. There were some rumblings that we were going to get some help from some government minions at the Get Prepared Expo. So, in order to save all of us taxpayers money and flights inbound from these minions who travel really far and wide to come to the Get Prepared Expo. I'm talking about these government minions. We're going to save you a lot of money, and we're going to, and you can take the days off because you're not going to be able to come to the Get Prepared Expo. Chief Cloud Piler of Namenha, Native American Band of Tribes, is going to consecrate the Get Prepared Expo as sacred grounds again. This will be the second time we've done it, and it will make the news. It'll be in the local papers so that there's no reason why these government minions won't know about it. They're certainly listening to the broadcast today. We're consecrating the grounds as sacred, and through a treaty with the United States government, you will not be able to attend the Get Prepared Expo. I'm talking to the government minions. You won't be able to come. Okay? And if you do decide to show up, you'll be on your own, which means that you will have to apply for permission to attend to the Get Prepared Expo. We will have a multi-page application for you. You will need to have a picture ID. We will need your Social Security number, so make sure you bring your Social Security card with you. We will be photographing you and your card. And we need to know where you live, where you work, your home phone number, your cell phone number, what you plan to do with the information. And you'll need $10 in cash to apply to be on the grounds. We will process that application as soon as the committee gets to it, hopefully within a couple days. Government minions, I hope you understand what we're saying. We're not kidding. The Get Prepared Expo will be consecrated as sacred Native American grounds. Off limits to you guys. But everyone else, you're certainly welcome. You're certainly welcome. And we've got, well, I'll tell you what we're doing. We have Berkey water filters at the lowest price in the country. No one sells them for less than we do, and we sell them at deep discounts, deep. But I've agreed not to tell you the price. I've agreed with Berkey not to mention the price. And we are bringing ProPure water filtration systems in at the lowest price in the country, by far. We're bringing Berkey and ProPure water filtration systems. And we're going to have a seminar to compare them. I have both of them here at the farm. I've been comparing them for side by side for a week. And one is better than the other, in my opinion. And if you ask me at the expo, I'll tell you which one. As a matter of fact, if you ask me on the radio, I'll even tell you which one. In my opinion. And we're going to have freeze-dried food at the lowest price in the country at the Get Prepared Expo. So what you'll have to do is buy them and then take them with you. Okay? We've paid cash to get the transaction cost to the minimum. We bought them in bulk to get the transaction cost at the minimum. We're having them shipped on pallets to get the shipping cost to the absolute minimum. And you're going to save. And by the way, we have a dental workshop. If you would like to learn how to place an emergency filling or re-cement a crown, you can do that at the Get Prepared Expo. Dr. Howard Shayne, our dentist, brilliant dentist, will be teaching that class, limited to 20 at a time. There's a cost. It's $45 for that extra seminar during the Get Prepared Expo. So if you want to learn how to place an emergency filling or re-cement a crown and get the material to do that in the workshop at the Get Prepared Expo, you can do that. There's a ticket for that. It's $45, and it includes the supplies for taking home and cementing that emergency crown or placing the filling. And then we have another one, another seminar workshop with Dr. James Caesar, D.O., medical doctor, suturing a wound. What would you do? What would you do if there were a huge wound? You know, we're talking about civil unrest, right? You think everyone's going to just do fine? No one's going to get sliced up? Well, Dr. James Caesar taught me how to do it. And Judy Dollarhide and a lot of the other instructors at USA Prepares, and he's teaching the seminar workshop. And you will leave with a suture kit from that seminar workshop also. The cost for that one is $65. Tickets to the Get Prepared Expo for just about all the other seminars, the vast majority of seminars, probably 80 seminars, over 80 seminars, included in your $8 ticket. Online, $10 at the door. There's camping. If you'd like to camp at the Get Prepared Expo, it's $10 a day. And we have 3 banquet meals where you can dine with your instructors. 2 dinners and 1 lunch. $10.80. So we've done everything we can to keep the cost as low as possible for you. People are going to come from hundreds of miles away. Last time we did it, 43 states. And if you decide that you are going to start your business before you get there, I will teach in my seminar how you can use those expenses of coming to the Get Prepared Expo as a tax deduction. And you will probably exceed in savings the cost of coming to the Get Prepared Expo if you start a business. Imagine your travels at 56 cents a mile as a tax deduction. 56 cents a mile. Imagine if you come 200 miles each way. That's 400 miles times 56 cents as a tax deduction, plus your entry pass. And if your business relates to preparedness and you want to share information about placing dental fillings and suturing and teaching people about things like what Ricky Rocket and Matt Stein are going to teach, game over events, if that relates to your business, the cost of those seminars are deductible too, in my opinion. So we're going to teach you how to do it. We're going to teach you how to save money, and we're going to teach you how to be prepared. We want you to come out the other side of this calamity intact. John Regan?
Are you ready for some more?
I am ready.
Well, we're going to be light on the spy tech and control for today. We just spent 2 hours on that yesterday. We're going to catch up on financial and bigger picture items more so today. And I wanted to share a couple of things that I discovered at the grocery store. There's these sausage products and Polish kielbasa type sausage that used to come in 1-pound packages. And like other meat products, those went down to 14 ounces. And with beef prices increasing over other meats, the beef sausages were down to 13 ounces. Well, not anymore.
The new fun size.
These latest beef sausages are in a 10-ounce package. And the diameters shrunk so much now that these look more like foot-long hot dogs than the sausages.
Wow. Well,
then I went down.
This is the inflation. This is the inflation that we said was coming.
There's no inflation, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't eat. I also noticed in the coffee aisle something strange. We used to have these 1-pound cans of coffee.
Right.
And they went down to 13.5 ounces. More recently, they've been 11.3 ounces. And that's been the standard small coffee can size. Well, when I went down, I noticed most of those were no longer on the shelf. And it's like the major Folgers brand, the most popular one you could still get in the 11.3 ounce size. However, the area that used to have all of those size cans have this funky new size can that's bigger, but it's smaller than what used to be the 3-pound can size, so that you really can't, in your mind, guess how much is really in there. So I think this is another way that they're hiding how much coffee is going up, because you're getting a larger container and paying more for it, but unless you're looking at the cost per ounce, you really don't know what you're getting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a lesson in itself, class, that when you go to the supermarket, when you buy your provisions, and you have young people with you, cell phone off, or get rid of the cell phone, and use that as a lesson. Have a calculator with you, or if you have your phone with a calculator, if you're intent on keeping that darn phone, use that phone and say, well, hey, Jimmy, look at this. Here is a coffee can. I thought it had 16 ounces. It now has 8.5, and it's $7.49. Let's figure out how much that is per ounce. And then let's look at this other can, this Maxwell House can, and let's look at this Folgers can, and then look at the House brand. And let's see the difference in cost per ounce. And teach your young people that they need to shop that way, not by the style of the package, not by the size of the package, but by the contents in terms of weight or fluid ounces. What do you think, John?
Yeah, and those 10-ounce sausages make it easy. Just divide by 10.
It's move the decimal. You're absolutely right. And it's outrageous. It's outrageous that we let marketing should be a term that's right up there with lying, cheating, stealing, obfuscating, confusing, marketing. marketing. And don't let your children, if they're going to school, study marketing. Otherwise, they'll be corrupt, right? Because that's what they teach in marketing. How to get people to buy stuff that they don't want. Okay, class, who wants to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? All spiders have 8 legs, but do the hairy ones have the most meat? Is it true grasshopper legs taste like chicken? Which bugs have the most protein? Which are best served dried and which are best eaten while still alive? Which bugs are the most dangerous for your children to eat? Do you like the sound of this? We don't either, so you'll have to go to a government-sponsored expo for cooking with bugs. The Get Prepared Expo has so many great seminars, we had to cross the poorly attended ones off our list, like the Red Cross, FEMA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Department of Education, the Internal Revenue Service, the American Cancer Society, CERT, and Homeland Security. We can't help everyone, just the really bright people, the top 1% of thinkers and doers, like you. The rest, the other 99% who don't think and don't do, well, the government's standing ready to help them. The Get Prepared Expo, the last weekend in March. For details, visit getpreparedexpo.com.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
John, you were talking about coffee cans, and this is what I found. Coffee cans used to be steel. A steel cylinder with a steel bottom and a steel top, with a plating and a coating to prevent rusting. There'd be a label on it. And then it was improved, right, to where we have these plastic coffee containers. And you can, it's so convenient and so easy. All you have to do is just lift off the plastic lid and peel off the seal. But it's not vacuum packed anymore. It can't be, because there are pores in the plastic, and the seals are lousy. So the shelf life of the coffee is nowhere near as long as it was. And then they improve that. They improve that coffee container to where they make a cardboard container. It kind of looks like a can. It's shaped like a can. It's a cylinder. But if you just put the slightest pressure on the outside of it and squeeze it like Charmin, it kind of squeezes like Charmin. It is a weak container, and it's made with cardboard, and it leaks air. So you have reduced shelf life. For those of us who are preparedness-minded, we would like to buy coffee that's vacuum-packed, so it'll last a long, long time. Class, if you want to do that, you're going to have to hurry up, because the marketeers and the manufacturers have decided that we're not capable of opening coffee cans that are made out of steel. And they want to replace them with coffee containers that are made of cardboard, bags, and plastic. John, are you seeing that in Texas where you live?
I haven't seen that yet. Everything I've seen is still in those plastic ones.
Okay. Well, Maxwell House is in the blue, Folgers is in the red, Decaf is in the green, but just squeeze some of those large coffee cans, the 1 pound, the ones that could hold a pound if they put a pound in them, those cans or those containers. You'll find out that a lot of them have become cardboard, and they're squeezable. And if you want, peel off that plastic lid on the Folgers, and you'll see that many of them do not have the vacuum packing, or the vacuum packing has failed, and you won't get the long shelf life that you get out of a can of coffee that is steel. And by the way, we have steel cans here that we've had for many, many years, and the coffee in them is just fine, as long as they're vacuum packed, sealed in steel. That's just my take on coffee cans.
I think sometimes people think I just go out and look for the bad news to present. And I didn't put this on the list for today, but there is an item out there that the sales are far exceeding what they expected. And that's those, yeah.
What, sales?
Sales.
Sales of what?
Those new cigarettes in Colorado. And they have sold so much that they're actually talking about refunding some of the taxes because they've collected so much in taxes.
They're talking about it. Will they do it? Why not eliminate the taxes?
Well,
Why not eliminate?
I'm not going to inhale waiting for that one.
Why not eliminate 3/4 of the government? Why not do that? Wouldn't that be nice?
But in the rest of the world, things are a little different. And if you're following along at the Financial State of the Union on the news tab with today's resources, the world's largest container shipping company has issued a warning that global trade is slowing down, which, of course, is represented with the Baltic Dry Index we've talked about over the past few weeks. And even if there is growth happening, if the growth is below a certain level, that's problematic as well. We've not only got this just-in-time manufacturing process to delivery, we've got a situation where they have to keep the growth rate in the economy within a certain range. If it's too much or too little, either way, it ends up being bad for the economy. They can only, rig this for so long.
John Regan's with us. We're at the financialstateoftheunion.com, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. Click on the news tab and follow along with us. We'll be right back.
What's so special about the Get Prepared Expo? Imagine having the opportunity to learn from some of the best preparedness and survival instructors available today. The faculty of USAPrepares.com. Imagine meeting your radio instructors all in one place. The last weekend in March. Imagine having lunch or dinner at a table with your instructors. And the cost? $10.80. Imagine having your favorite instructors autographing and personalizing your new books. Imagine buying Berkey water filters at deep discounts, the lowest price in the country. Imagine buying freeze-dried long-term storage food at the lowest price in the country. You don't have to imagine. This is real. It's at the Get Prepared Expo, the biggest and best preparedness expo there is, March 27, 28, and 29 in Lebanon, Missouri. One-day tickets are $8 on the website, getpreparedexpo.com. Getpreparedexpo.com.
What good is a big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Youngevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call? And how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
John Regan's with us, Captain John Regan, U.S. Air Force Reserves retired. He'll be at the Get Prepared Expo, and if you'd like to meet him and buy a copy of his book, he'll autograph it for you. You can have dinner with him, you can have another dinner with him, and you can have lunch with John Regan. John, I was looking at the internet during the break, and there are two parents.
who were found guilty of neglect by Child Protective Services in Maryland. And what they did was they allowed their children to walk home from the park. It's about a mile. One's 10, one's 6. And so this is neglect, right? So letting children do what children do is now seems to be an offense, and the decision by Child Protective Services means they're going to keep a file on this family who allows their children to experience, life, and they have these ID badges that say, "I'm not lost. I'm a free range kid." I'm not lost. I'm a free range kid. And so the police got involved. Some do-gooder obviously called the cops on these two children who were walking home from the park. Can you imagine? Can you imagine we have gotten to the point where people will call the police? If you see someone that you think might be in trouble, wouldn't it be nice to say, "Hi, are you lost? Do you need some help?" No, just call the cops, right? Out of control. John, your thoughts on this?
Well, I remember walking to junior high when I was a boy, because it was, probably 3/4 of a mile away, I think. And, if only we'd had the government back then to tell us that we were being abused, life would be so different.
You're right. Yep. And, I'm thinking about how far a mile is, right? It's our farm. It's like the front edge of our farm is a mile. I walk a mile lots of times. And so we need the government to come and rescue us from ourselves. And these parents are now under watch by the Child Protective Services finding them guilty. Who the heck are they to find them guilty? Since when do they have any authority to find someone guilty? Come on. Child Protective Services. I mean, it's another organization. I guess I need to add them to the bug commercial. We're not going to have a seminar by Child Protective Services either. Mark in Pennsylvania, you're on with Captain John Regan and me, Vince Finelli. Welcome.
Oh, hello, Vince. Hello, John. I really appreciate you having on Greg Morse earlier, Vincent, because that seems like a last stand, if you ask me, property ownership. Surely it means something to somebody. And a couple of notes on the financial aspect. I just saw something a couple of days ago that the number one place for job creation in the United States it used to be North Dakota.
Oh, I thought you meant okay.
It's D.C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense to me.
And the number one place for the highest concentration of millionaires, the state of Maryland, which is
right?
which is a suburb of D.C.
D.C.
And by the way, folks, I live out here, and I've traveled through that area quite a few times. And you know what I notice about D.C. area? There are no potholes, and they're building like crazy in every direction you can see. Amazing. Building everything, roads, highways, bridges, luxury homes. Okay, so the water troughs are open, folks, and it's all happening in D.C. If you want to know where your money's going, there you go. So, but on the note of back to property ownership, I am curious, Vince. You guys, you and your guests are some of the sharpest knives in the drawer, some of the straightest arrows in the quiver, and to me, the reason why I got involved in this is because I grew up, in the rural areas, and my sense of it is the front lines of this whole fight is the rural area primarily because farmers who own land and have to work the soil or work the land with their, the cattle, they understand the bounty of the earth, and they have a clear connection to true ownership. People in the cities don't get ownership because it's a man-made system, and they have to play the game of the man-made system. So I would think, and I would hope, that the people in the rural areas would wake up and would gather together, would collaborate on this issue of property ownership, because this is our last stand. And And I'm curious, there are no accidents. How is it, Vince, that you ended up picking Missouri, or did it pick you, or both? Or what happened? How is it you, I mean, you grew up in Virginia, right?
Okay, I'll share it with you. I don't think I've ever shared this story. I was in the fight of our lives in Virginia. We had 2 farms. And one farm was 26 miles from the other farm. And the county that those 2 farms were in, or that one of the farms was in, wanted to put a dump between the 2 farms, a 1,400-acre dump. And I wanted to stop it. I thought it was insanity, putting a 5-state dump with rail lines bringing trash from outside Virginia and 2 highways to bring trash to this dump was insanity, because the dump was on top of an aquifer. And it's one thing to dispose of your own trash. It's another thing to import trash and toxins and put them in your backyard. Nobody wants to have a dump in his or her backyard, right? Well, we certainly didn't want a 5-state dump. So I got involved with this fight. I became the point person. And it was a killer. It was an absolute killer. And it took months, and after it was all over, there were a lot of, during the fight, there were a lot of people that said, hey, we're with you, we're behind you. And I looked around, and they were so far behind me that I couldn't even see them. Many of them turned into pansies, and felt threatened by the government. And pretty soon I was all alone, or darn near all alone. And I decided that I needed to go to a place where people were a little stronger than that. And I wanted to be away from the district of criminals. So we sold our farms in Virginia, and we wanted to move to a place that was a little safer. We looked all over. Mrs. Finelli and I got in the truck, and we drove 20,000 miles, literally. 20,000 miles, looking all over. We looked at the air, the water, we looked at the maps, we looked at the roads, we looked at the people. We even interviewed the people where we thought we would buy a farm. And we wanted to make sure that they liked us and we liked them. Most people don't do that. Most people will buy a place because of their job, and then they'll figure out who their neighbors are. We wanted to know who the neighbors were first. We wanted to see if the community would work for us and us for them. And we found this little hamlet in the middle of nowhere in Missouri. And we bought a 241-acre farm. And it had a house on it, but the house burned down many, many years ago. It was a small house. And we liked the property. We liked the way the land lay. And we liked that it had a stream on it. We liked the fact that it had ponds on it and some barns. And we thought that we could make this into a cattle farm, and we could just get out of the way from the collapse. And that's why I moved to Missouri. But we moved to a county where the taxes are the lowest in the state of Missouri. And there's no law here. There's a sheriff's office, but I don't think they come out this way. Except once in a while. That's why I selected, Mrs. Finelli and I selected where we selected. There are no high tension wires here. There was no microwave transmission towers here. There are no radio station, TV station towers here. Taxes, we bought the farm, were less than $200 per year. And there are farms around us that you can get, which are pretty darn nice. And you can move to the Wild West. And one of the guys who I was fighting this fight with in Virginia said, Missouri still has parts that are still part like the Wild West. And that was intriguing to me, because we looked at North Dakota, we looked at South Dakota, we looked at Montana. And what we really liked about Missouri was the fact that there was water, a lot of water. And but there aren't any zoning regulations, building codes, and so forth that are enforced where we live. So you can build a nice house, and your next door neighbor might be living in a trailer that's from the 70s. If that's okay with you, then this is a great place. If you want uniformity, this is definitely not the place. If you need to be entertained, this is not the place. If you want freedom, there's some freedom here. And, when it comes to, why do I wear a 45? It goes back to Virginia when our house was shot at during this fight that we had. We know how government works now, and when I talk about government, when I talk about how I despise so much of it, the corruption of it, it's because I've seen it firsthand. I've seen the individual greed. I know these politicians. I know how they operate. They're weak, and they are not representing our interests. So put all it together, that's why I'm here.
On the subject of how we got here and how people are so apathetic, I personally, and we don't have time to go into it, but I personally experienced a wide dynamic of different experiences of total and shocking loss, where the rug was pulled out from under me and my family, 2 families. And it's, I wonder, well, how did that happen, or why did it happen to me, And I'll tell you why. It's a cultural thing. Our enemy, and we are at war right now, by the way, our enemy has been at this for a long, long time, multiple generations, to set us up to become apathetic, the very thing that is the worst psychology you could embrace totally, is to be apathetic about all this. And I'll hold that thought.
And, I'll tell you what, the look on that guy's face with the road grader when I went head-to-head with my tractor and his road grader, he was absolutely shocked. No one had ever done that before. Taking on a piece of government equipment like that. We'll be right back.
Some of you might be wondering, just what is the Get Prepared Expo? The Get Prepared Expo is designed to help everyone survive tornadoes, snowstorms, ice storms, earthquakes, and God forbid, a real terrorist attack. Are you ready? Have you thought through all the scenarios? At the Get Prepared Expo, you'll meet exhibitors who will help you prepare and survive and learn what you need. Included in your all-day passes are 1-hour seminars on water filtration, cooking and heating without electricity, wood, or any kind of fuel, the all-important survival garden, and growing food with heirloom seeds, radiation detection and radiation survival. There are over 60 seminars at the Get Prepared Expo. Think of it as a college preparedness degree in a weekend. Get Prepared Expos are taught by preparedness leaders, authors, medical doctors, and radio personalities. Bring your questions. We have the answers. We hope to see you the last weekend in March, Lebanon, Missouri. GetPreparedExpo.com. GetPreparedExpo.com.
I'm really glad my buddy Mark turned me on to Guns80.com. I got to tell you, I didn't want to buy any more firearms. I didn't want a paperwork trail headed back to Big Brother. I want 100% privacy. I want to be an invisible gun owner. Hello? So Mark says, hey, Guns80.com, Ghost AR-15. Ghost means invisible. Get it? Ghost AR-15. Guns80.com. I got a couple, if you know what I mean. Go to Guns80.com or call 844-2GUNS80.
Are you hungry for delicious, nutritious, rich, and satisfying home-cooked meals? Discover the Vita Clay 4-in-1 Smart Organic Cooker. Unglazed Zisha clay, an ancient secret that makes this fast multi-cooker so special, infusing your food with incredible flavors, perfect texture, vitamins, and minerals for your good health. It's a slow cooker, rice cooker, a steamer, plus a yogurt maker. Go to VitaClayChef.com and enter promo code RADIO20 for 20% off at checkout. That's VitaClayChef.com.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your product and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Captain John Regan's with us, and John, you're going to be at the Get Prepared Expo, and we can get a copy of your book, and you can autograph it, and I'm delighted that you're going to be there. Do you have a comment based on what Mark from Philadelphia has said about, we've lost our way and we've allowed this to happen, and, we've become very weak, apathetic, and, we're just watching the collapse?
I saw that myself. I was at the Pentagon from late 85 to early 88, and I noticed how D.C. and that area is its own world in a manner of speaking. So when, people call and write saying the economy's bad, they look out the window and say, everything's fine here. And one of the other things that happened is today we have these professional politicians in office. When our country started, we had farmers and businessmen that went to Congress, and if they stayed away from their farms and businesses too long, they'd lose everything. And if we could get back to that, it would sure make a difference in this country.
I've got a comment on that, John. I've talked to some business owners, and what they have found is they've hired people to, run their businesses so they could semi-retire. And in every case, the business has deteriorated when the owner does not have his hand on the wheel. Literally, the owner of the business needs to run the business. Hiring people to help run the business, or hiring them to run the business because they've got credentials on their resume, has almost always led to failure. That is, sometimes we have gotten to the point where we can't recover from the failures by turning over the business to other people. It's unbelievable how poor the ethics are in some people who we could hire to help us. We pay them, and they still do a lousy job. So what I'm saying is, class, if you decide that you're running a business, you better keep your hand on the wheel. Seriously. Because if you turn it over to others that are employees, you probably find out that they will not deliver the results that you yourself would deliver. Mark in Pennsylvania?
Yes, and a deeper core issue to me is property ownership. What's one of the most important properties that we supposedly own, and that would be our money, our symbol of value, which was taken over in the early 1900s. And I believe that after they did that, then they set up an elitist bureaucracy of elitist politicians. And look and connect the dots, folks. Look at the families that are in politics today and have been in politics for multiple generations. Who's running the show here? Who are the real bandits who are wearing masks and robbing the rest of us? And
We're talking about all these presidents being related except for Martin Van Buren?
When they own the money, and they can print as much money as they want or create as many digits as they want, they can do whatever they want. You'd think that they'd want to do good, but no. They're doing evil. So there's evil behind this, and they want to steal every thing we own, including our own. The ultimate property that we own is ourself, our body, our being, our well-being. They want to own every part of it, and that's why I brought up before a previous one I called it technological. Well, I brought up technological barbarianism. We haven't reached that yet, but we're under technological feudalism, pretty close to technological feudalism. They're controlling us through technologies, through bureaucracies, through money, and money is a form of technology. So my sense of it is that my concern is that people, hopefully they'll wake up before it comes directly to their door. And, you'd think that in a Christian nation that people would have more empathy and understand that what happens to somebody over there could visit your door, so you better get activated now about what's happening over there, even though it might be remote, because it could visit your door. And more, well, now what are we hearing? It is visiting more and more people's doors. And when it's visited the rural areas, Vincent and John, it's very upsetting to me. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, Mark.
We got to wake up.
Steve Engel called yesterday, and here's a guy. He's one of us, and he lives in Kansas. Cops came to his door. They said someone called 911. He answered the door with a gun in his hand, holding it by the muzzle. Cops beat him up right in his own door, and now are pursuing charges to put him in prison for assault on a police officer. They came and beat him up at his own door. They showed up. So you're absolutely right. Does it happen elsewhere? Yeah, it happens elsewhere, but it's coming to a neighborhood near you. Mark in Pennsylvania, thanks so much for calling. Captain John Regan, thanks so much for being with us today. And class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
Attention listeners, SurvivalLife.com is giving away free EverStrike permanent matches for a limited time only. These matches are waterproof and will light in any weather condition, rain, snow, or sleet. It will still throw a spark. Its built-in ferro rod strikes at 3,000 degrees, and it is good for 15,000 strikes. Normally, $15. Today, it's free. Get yours at freesurvivalmatch.com. That's freesurvivalmatch.com. Hurry, supplies are limited. Visit freesurvivalmatch.com today.
It's no secret that government and big business buy in bulk and get huge discounts not available to the little guy. Until now. Introducing a breakthrough crowd buying website where people can join together, buy in bulk, and get massive discounts on millions of popular products. It's TogetherSave.com. TogetherSave.com. You can save 20, 30, or even 50% off tablets, smartphones, cars, appliances, textbooks, sports equipment, video games, and much more. All with free delivery. Check it out. TogetherSave.com. Visit now and start group buying today at TogetherSave.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.